Eating disorders are the most deadly of all neurologic disorders because of the fact that doctors are remaining uncertain as to what causes it. They can consist of multiple different kinds. The most common two, anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa. Others include binge eating, anorexia athletica, exercise bulimia, overeating, night eating, and orthorexia. Anorexia nervosa is the most common type of eating disorder. Anorexia nervosa takes place when a person has stopped the consumption of food in order to lose weight. Bulimia nervosa, commonly known as bulimia, is the second most common eating disorder. Bulimia consists of two key factors, binging and purging. Binging is when a person eats as much food as it takes until they feel fat. Purging is when someone forces themselves to vomit or overexercise.
I worked with eating disorders for about 8 years, and I actually struggled with one myself in college. I had a problem with that with my running. It's a long process. I mean, you can stop the symptoms, but you have to kind of work on all the emotional stuff that's underneath of it, just coping skills and what caused that. And so a lot of mine is like self-esteem, and a lot of my self-esteem was found in my sport. And with running and gymnastics and different things like that, there's this need to be thin, and it kind of drives that. So absolutely, most always. The percentage, I think 50% is for depression. I personally think it's higher, but depression and anxiety, I think, are a big part of people that struggle with eating disorders. And when we say eating disorders, we're talking anorexia, bulimia, when they're mixed, and also now with the just the binging, the overeating, and not being able to stop. I think that depression and anxiety both. I think it's a coping skill. The eating disorder is a coping skill to kind of self-soothe the depression, the anxiety, and the low self-esteem, and those types of things. The society that we live in today is so focused on how we look, and we'll just talk about like high school and college age, and really now when women my age, the view to be thin and beautiful and just the outward appearance. Honestly, I believe a lot of it is just to fit in. Like think about the kids, like what grade are you in? 8th grade? And you see a lot of girls that worry about how they look and I'm fat, and so I really think it's the fear of, and it's not always, it's lots of different reasons, but just the fear of being fat, just because of the messages that we get from the media today. We just don't even know what a healthy body even looks like anymore. We've got a lot of boys that are struggling with eating disorders now too, because the media and how they're portraying men and how they're supposed to look. So there's a lot of fear and anxiety just about self, and just how we appear to others, and just being accepted and loved, not believing that we can be loved unconditionally for so many other things, but besides how we look. Kids like your age have asked me that question before. Their fear is if I get better, I'm going to get fat. I think a lot of girls do worry about that. They worry that they'll get fat, and that's very, very, very important. Because if I have the love of my family and the support of my family that can walk beside me and help me, get the proper treatment, to be able to be a sounding board for what I'm going through, to sit with me at mealtime, to help provide healthy meals, to be able to validate my emotions. It's very, very important. A lot of times, when you see people that don't have families that are willing to walk beside them, it's hard to recover, so then they have to build a support system outside of them.
Recovery is hard, but possible. It means having the chance to skip a meal, binge, purge, or run another mile, but choosing not to.